Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you saw by the title, we will be talking about some makeup products that I am decluttering. If you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to be talking about products that I'm getting rid of, 10 products that I'm getting rid of. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get started. I filmed a full face of Frozen makeup, which should be up already on my channel. If you guys want to see it, definitely check it out. That was what I filmed earlier today, and now my makeup, obviously, I've been wearing it all of the day. But I was reapplying the Rare Beauty Dewy Lip Balm, and girl, she was much better frozen. It was just way easier to apply because it wasn't as like dewy, so it didn't like move all over the place. I was shook to the core. That I so shook that I had to mention it. But yeah, that's why you can see my friend here. He's exposed because we've been wearing this makeup all day. Anyway, so all these products, I believe I'm going to list all these products, most of these products on my Mercari, which is down below. Hold on. There we go. Which is down below, and it has been down below, I believe, for my most recent videos. I've been having my Mercari, my Instagram, my Ipsy, and then now I just added my email down below if you guys are interested in any of that. I mean, I don't know what you want my email for, but whatever, Essie. Anyway, so let's start with how I do my makeup, like proper makeup application. The primer I'm getting rid of is actually the Becca Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer, infused with Glow Nectar Brightening Hydro Complex. And I'm even, as I'm reading it, I'm kind of trying to convince myself to keep it. I just don't use it. If I'm going to reach for a primer, it's not going to be this one. And honestly, the thing is that like I've been trying to like slow my purchasing on primers and foundations down. But the thing is that the reason why I have so many is because I have so many that I don't like. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to keep it. You know, there's no reason for me to keep this if I just don't use it. I did get it from TJ Maxx, so I don't know if people will buy it off Mercari. I'm gonna list it for maybe a little bit, and then maybe I might just chuck it because I don't know how old it actually is. It still performs really nicely. The thing is that because it's brightening and blurring, it's not a super brightening concealer or super blurring concealer. Like since it's a mix, it's kind of toned down on either side, and so it's just not my favorite combination of primer. I think I'd much rather use like my Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer and then go in with like my Benefit Professional if I want something to brighten and then blur, because those both excel at what they're meant to do. So the combination is flawless. This one is just a little bit like not as good, and so not that it's a bad primer in any way, shape, or form. I just, again, don't reach for it. I have so many and I don't need this one. If you're someone who has like more normal skin and normal to you know, if you have combination skin, anything like that, I think you might really like this because, again, it's not super hydrating or anything like that or super mattifying. So I feel like it's the best for both worlds if you have that kind of skin type. I have extremely dry skin, so then me and her are not best friends. And then for foundation, I think this is the only product I'm not going to be listing. I think I'm just going to chuck this. This is the e.l.f. BB Cream. I have the shade medium here. I just talked about this in my ranking my foundation videos. My ranking my foundation video, that's what it is. All my drugstore foundations. I do really like this foundation. It's really nice. The shade medium is so dark. It's too dark for me right now. Like, what the freak? It's super dark foundation, but you can see, I think because of the SPF, it's splitting in there, and that really grosses me out because, like, I just don't know, and I think it's because of the SPF in there that you kind of got to use it and get rid of it ASAP instead of kind of letting it sit there. And because I don't use it a lot and I have so many other foundations, I felt like might as well get rid of it now instead of just letting it rot in my collection. So I think I'm going to chuck this because I don't think anyone should be wearing that on their face. I would be nervous to wear it on my face again, and I'm already breaking out for no freaking reason. So many products I've tried testing, and I'm just like, ugh, I cannot fight with the products that is gonna break me out. So that one's gonna go. I'm not decluttering any concealers. I'm very happy with my concealer collection. I'm super happy about it because I don't know, I just am. But then I'm gonna be decluttering a powder. This is the KVD Vegan Beauty Lock-It Translucent Setting Powder. I probably will list this with one of the other products that I'll mention next, because this setting powder, I used to really like it. I think it's just, the more that I try other setting powders, the less I like this one, and so I think that's what it was. I'm nervous that this one is a bad batch, and obviously, like, if someone buys it off Mercari, I have to have, like, maybe say, like, you know, I didn't love it, I loved it before, don't love it now, don't know if it's the product or me. So maybe I shouldn't write that like on my Mercari or something like that, because it's not my number one powder anymore. I do have a lot of setting loose setting powders though, so I kind of have to get down to the nitty gritty and get really picky. If it looks a little bit crepey, then it gotta go. And so for me and my dry skin, it's just a little too drying for me. And yes, that's really just the issue with it. See, look, she's everywhere. Do we lip balm? Okay, a little better. The product that I'm probably going to list it with is like a contour duo. This is the KVD Shade and Light Contour. I don't love this. I think if you're someone who's a contourer, then you'll really enjoy this, because it's kind of like the perfect bronzer and highlighting shade. I just don't contour or do anything with this, and so I just don't need it. It's in the shade Lyric and Shadowplay, and I wanted to try the KVD Vegan Beauty, the Shade and Light Contour palette for so long, but when they came out with minis, I was like, yes, girl. But I just don't use this powder right here, and I rarely do I contour. And so if I do, I'm gonna use a different product. So it's just not my go-to, and I'm really sad to say, because this was expensive, like literally expensive. So yeah, we'll just list it. I don't know why it's breaking in there. I don't know, because it definitely wasn't me. I didn't like drop it or anything like that. It's just a little bit breaking, but I'm gonna probably try to clean it up a little bit, then send it out if someone buys it, you know. All right, another like little palette duo guy here. This is the Joah Glow On Girl Bronze and Glow Duo. Now this one actually well, I think they'll all be up on my Mercari by the time you guys are seeing this, but this one has been up there for a little bit longer, because I did declutter a little bit while back ago. This is the Joah, did I say that? Joah Glow On Girl Bronze and Glow Duo. I definitely did. Now I like this product. I just think that it's not for me. The bronzer's a little bit light, and so like at my palest I could probably use it, but even then it's kind of just like a bronzer. Like it's nothing special about it. It's just a good, like, I don't want to say just a good bronzer, it's just a bronzer. Like it just bronzes your skin up, and because it's a little bit too light for me, it doesn't always do that. So it's kind of a finicky product for me and my skin tone. And then the highlighter is a very nice and subtle highlighter, so it's not, again, my favorite kind of highlighter. I have so many that it's just not my favorite little duo here. I think it's a really cute thing. I think if you're someone who really just wants to try some more from Joah, if you want to just try this little duo guy, it's a mini version of the regular size, I believe. So if you wanted to try it, definitely would try it. Yes. All right, and then let's talk about this. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Diffused Heat. This shade is just all wrong for me, and I love these blushes so much because I love the formula. It blended so nicely on the face. It feels so good. It just brings something crazy to the face, and I don't even understand what it is, why it's so good. But the thing with this is it's just too light for me, and I can't use it. I get no color on my face, and there's no point in keeping it. And so yes, again, this is the same kind of product though, where it's been up on my Mercari for a little bit now, and nobody wants to buy her. All right, and the last four products are eyeshadow palettes. I wanted to make sure I had 10. So first, I'm getting rid of the BH Cosmetics Mimosa eyeshadow palette. I know, I wanted this. I bought the eyeshadow palette and the blush palette. The blush palette sold instantly when I sold it a little while back. I did sell that. It sold instantly. Now this one, I just don't use it. And I have two palettes that kind of have more pinkier reds and oranges though. So I got rid of this one, and I feel like it's best if I just let it go while it's a little bit newer, while people can still get used out of it and stuff like that, because there's some shades in here that I haven't even touched because I just don't use it a lot. And I do really like the neutrals in here, this one, and I love BH Cosmetics formula. It's one of my favorites, but I just think the color scheme is not for me. I rarely ever am gonna reach into this, and that's just the truth. And I wanted it to be sentimental because mimosas, and I got it for my 21st birthday. But it's okay. I think I have enough memories from being 21 that I don't need this. By the way, I burned my head when I was straightening my bangs, if you're wondering why. I have a burn on my head. All right, another eyeshadow palette that's been up there for a little bit. This is the Dominique Cosmetics. It's the Sweater Weather eyeshadow palette. I did get it in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus 1 month. I shouldn't have used it. I knew I shouldn't have. I looked at it and I said, I don't think I'm gonna use it. And then I was like, but I really want to try it. So I tried it and I shouldn't have done it. So I really do like this palette. I like the formula, but the shades are too light for me. You can look at it. This one is just a shade that I just don't normally use, but these two are just too light. These three are just too light for me. And then you have a purple and a deep like purple brown. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this palette. But if you're someone who missed out on it and really wants to try it, I think the formula is good, and definitely I want to try more from Dominique Cosmetics, but I feel like this palette is just not my type, and so that's why I just wouldn't get a lot of use out of it. I feel like the only shade that like draws me to keeping this is this shade right here, and that's one brown that I have 16 times over. 60 times over. I have it in every single palette times 3. So it's like I just don't need this palette. I think if you're someone who really wants like maybe the whole Dominique collection or something like that, or whatever you want to try it, she's up on my Mercari, y'all. Alright, and then I have two Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. So this one doesn't break my heart because I knew I shouldn't have used it. So this is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice eyeshadow palette. I kind of regretted this one right when I got it. I got it because I really wanted the gingerbread and then the gingerbread extra spicy. I wanted both of those so bad. Then they came out the mini and I was like, oh, yes. And that was stupid of me. So it has some really nice tones. I really love all the shades in here. I think they picked really, really nice shades to go in here if you're going to create a smaller version of that eyeshadow palette. But the thing is that I'm just never going to use these shades, and especially not together. I really like some plums sometimes, and I really do like pinks sometimes, but rarely if I'm gonna use them, am I gonna put this kind of freaking shade on my lid, or even the white. So a lot of these shades just go unused. If I'm gonna dip in this palette, it'll be for one shade and then that's it. So it's kind of like, why do I, it's a waste. And so I love Too Faced formula. Don't get me wrong, they are my favorite eyeshadow formula probably ever. Their holiday formula, I should say, because I've never tried any of their other palettes. So they're so good, they're so blendable, so smooth, everything about them is perfection. It's just this color scheme is not one that I'm going to use a lot, and I tried to convince myself that I would, but I wouldn't. And then this one actually does break my heart because I don't know why I'm not using it, and I don't know what it is. This is the Too Faced Salted Caramel eyeshadow palette. Now I really love this palette for a little bit. It was a really nice palette, but the thing is that I just am not reaching for it, and it doesn't make sense why, because these are my tones. I just think I have too many of these, and so I just don't need it anymore. And so I think that's what it is. If I'm gonna reach for these tones, there are other palettes before this one that I'm gonna use, I guess. And I love the oranges, I love like the reds and the deepness to it, and even the shimmers are stunning. They're like my cup of tea shimmers, except for this pink, but like I'm just not reaching for it. Again, the formula is superb. I love this formula. It's so good. And all the shades are delicious. They look yummy. I like this one. But I just am not reaching for it. And I mean, I don't know why, because I just don't know why. But I feel like the shimmers in this one I like more, but a lot of the mattes are kind of in this bigger palette here. So I just don't necessarily need both. And then I have these shimmers because I love them. So, it's just, I feel like it's just too repetitive to keep in my collection. And I wanted to keep it, obviously, to have like a Too Faced holiday palette from every year. But I have the big one, #1 from this year. And then I have last year's Hot Butter Rum, and then the year before that Tickled Peach, and then next year I will try to get myself to only get one next year, kind of really think about them, because I do want to still keep getting them, and I love doing videos on them over the holidays, but I just don't need 3, and these are perfect proof that I didn't need these, and I just bought them because I was buying with my heart and not my brain. My pimple, wow, this really hurts me. I just kind of laughed and it freaking hurts. I need to what the freak, go away. Alright guys, so those are the products that I'm getting rid of. I want to make this more of a thing on my channel. Like I was saying earlier with the foundation, it's with the primer, it's I want to be able to buy other products. I want to bring more eyeshadow palettes in. I want to bring more primers, foundations, setting powders, whatever, blushes. I want to bring them into my collection, and the reason why my collection is so big is not because I keep buying, it's because I keep holding on to things that I just don't love. And so although I don't need to buy 3 foundations in 1 month, that needs to not happen. I do want to be able to just keep bringing in at least 1 foundation a month if I feel like it, and not feel like my collection is getting overwhelmed with product. So I think I'm going to try to do this a little bit more often, maybe every 3-4 months or something like that. I don't want to go through my entire collection with you guys until the end of the year, just because I feel like I don't want to start getting rid of stuff just for the sake of that video, because I feel a little bit pressured when you guys are watching me go through my collection, because I'm I only got rid of 1 thing and they're gonna hate me, whatever it is. So I like doing it this way. I think this is how we're gonna do it until we maybe a mid-year declutter and then an end of the year declutter we can do, probably. I think that's everything. There are no other products that I'm thinking. There are some products in my head that I'm okay, this is on the chopping block, if you will. But Not ones that I need to make a whole video about, maybe in a little bit, but I also have a small project pan going, so hopefully I'm getting more products out that way as well instead of just decluttering them. But I think all these will be up on my Poshmark except for the e.l.f. foundation. But yeah, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I don't have a quote, so I will put it in the end here, and I'm about to burp, so I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.